Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to my channel, Maniacal S10 Shopping Garage. I'm Mike Hale, ends with the E, the creator of this channel. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Appreciate the views, the subscribers. Hope everyone's staying healthy, warm on this cold November Saturday morning. This is more than likely going to be my last video because the colder it gets, the slower I get. Like I need to be any slower, but that's the way it goes. Wanted to bring you some info and update on oil filters. I had done on a previous video. Okay. Now for back in 55, the oil filters on the 265 V8 Chevy motor. I didn't know this till just here recently. I've never seen one. The 265s of the V8 had the oil filter in the area or under the thermostat housing. That's a new one on me. And in 68, they went to a spin-on filter. But in a prior video, I did bring to your attention spin-on versus oil canister filter. Now my 010 Aveo has a cartridge filter. Easy, simple to see. Now that's an 010. Here is from 55 to 68 canister filter. When it did change over, transition to 68, that they machined the block on the driver's side or right lower side of the motor engine for the spin-on. They also made an adapter, which I don't have. You could unbolt that where the spin-on goes to, where the bigger bolt right here, and that's the bottom of it, would screw up into the block of the machine pad for the canister filter to change it over to a spin-on. A lot of us guys did that back in the day. So, to recap on this, yeah, 2010, my 010 Aveo. From 55 to 68 canister filter. Both of these are canister filter setups. What goes around comes around. Canister 010, canister filter 55 to 68. And they went to the spin-on. Yay, I like that. Okay. Please like and subscribe. Notification bell, thumbs up please. Any comments, suggestions are always welcome. And today's main event's going to be flushing out the power steering system on my 010 Aveo. So, give me a second, I got to set my table up to show you some information and parts and tool for the, when I swapped out the alternator belt, accessory belt, and the power steering belt on my 010 Aveo. Okay, now then, power steering and water pump, accessory belt, and the tool I designed I didn't take the power steering pump off. I didn't want to deal with that. So I made the tool that fits the pump pulley. Check yours. Just your everyday hardware nut. This bar I made from a Wonder Bar. Welds real good. And for the pegs or posts, I know I come up with a good idea project to use the strut connector rod, as I call it, plunger, whatever you'd like to call it, that I dismantled on my struts off the 010 Aveo. I used part of this for that. Stainless welds up real good. And I'm going to turn the camera around to where not everything's backwards and show you some other info. And I am going to video the power steering flush today after this video, and again a little more heat outside because 41 degrees on me is just a little tough, but here we go. The flush will come shortly after this video. Now, your local store. Here's the info for you on the power steering pump and water pump belt. This is not the belt that came out of the box. The belt's already on the car. I took delivery the other day to do that. And here's the accessory belt info. So get her to focus. Or is it going to focus? Oh, I have to make it focus. Okay. And there you are. Hope that makes it easier for you to go get your belts. Now, okay, give me just a second here. Okay. Well, let me do it this way. It's a lot better, huh? Get my finger out of the way, it'd help. This thing will stop turning. That's approximate size you need. Length. It's the Wonder Bar I'm measuring for you, which is that right there. Okay, the, as I call it, peg holes or post holes. And there you are. It took a bit of time and patience to get this made because I didn't take the pump off the motor or engine. So not all bad. Now, oh, maybe this will give you an idea on your distance. This is going to make it a whole lot easier for you versus what I went through to make this. And to right there. And that's what it looks like when you're done. Now, just the basic hardware. Just so happened an 18mm ratchet wrench fits. And as you take the belt off, put it on, you'll have to configure your own strategy on getting into this because I'll have to be a contortionist to do it. Any way you look at it, let's take the pump off, and I didn't want to do that. But to take the pump off just to make this tool, it's not worth the time and effort. Then I got to put it all back on just to change the belt. And there you are. That's simple. Okay. Now I've seen and watched YouTube vids on power steering flushes, and I've come up with my own solution and idea process of how to do this. The smaller hose and the bigger hose on the power steering reservoir, but this is the smaller hose. It's got a check valve, so when I take this end off, power steering fluid don't pour out. And you are going to get to see me do that and put the wire clamps on this. This actually comes out to being, it's a radiator drain cock. It's one of the old school ones. All I gotta do when I put this back in is an inline T-fitting for the drain to the power steering reservoir, which I suggest, and I've seen this manuals on the internet, I've looked it up, intervals of 30,000 miles. Well, when it starts turning black like coffee, excuse me, or when you feel need to change it, flush it. Well, I say flush because I'm doing this setup. Is unhook this because I'm going to tie it off to the side under the motor. Well, not the motor itself, but off to the side. Then all I got to do, open this, drain it, start it, and let the system power itself and flush itself, and just keep adding power steering fluid to the reservoir. Because once you would hear the power steering pump whining, you're low on fluid, add more fluid to it. You'll see all this as I do the video just a little bit later. Like I said, wait until it warms up a little more outside. It's going to be a push to shove to get it up to 41. There won't be no more videos done on the outside till spring. Maybe one or two more in the shop, but the shop gets cold too. So this is my method of doing it in process. I had to use the OEM hose because this end of the hose, from being this diameter, and it's flared to here to fit the power steering reservoir. So, okay, in the vise it goes. And you're going to get to see how I use the clamp type tool, which I've done on a prior video, but I'm going to go ahead and do it this way too, so you see me actually doing it. Because right now I don't remember whether I showed you that or not, so this time I am. And if you're going to use excessive wire, and yeah, there is some waste, but just like MIGging there and stick welding, arc welding, maybe TIG welding, unfortunately there's always waste. But salvage what you can. Cut it, 12 to 15 inches, and you only had too much and not enough. So, got to experiment a little bit. And that's pretty much it. Just loop it. Okay. And here's the tool. Simple to use. The notch right there. Bit blurred, but the loop is where that goes. Now I'm going to just down a bit. Hopefully you will get to see most of this, and not all of it. If that is, if I don't block this off to where you can't see it. I make a great door, body-wise. Okay, now take the two ends, loop it through, bring it on down, conform it to where you need it, how you need it, and bring it on down. And trying to keep the wires even. Reasonably even anyway. And there you are. Basically the slip knot. Okay. On it goes. It's tedious. It can probably get into being nerve-wracking at times. But you can make your own custom clamps. That's the big plus. And they work great. Come up with all kinds of jobs for this tool. Okay. Now then, I'll give you a closer view on how I got this set up, so you can see how it's done and how to do it. And check, all good. You want to tighten up to where the wires are just flush with the hose. Give me just a second. I'm hoping I'm going to get to show you this really good here. Get it, make her focus. Notch to the loop. Wires that you can see are somewhat evenly spaced. Don't have to be perfect, but if you want to be that way, that's fine too. Custom looks, yeah, you got to go the full 10 yards to do it. This is not a custom job, but this is how it's set up. And just finish tightening it as tight as you need it to be. These kind of clamps I'm making are clamp tight versus these. Now I still do use these when I have to because clearance, barely get your hand in. This is where you need to use these versus you need room to use this. So just figure out your situation and do what you need to do. Okay, back to this. Okay. And I'm back to doing this one-handed videoing again, huh? But we'll make it. We'll get it to work. Now for me, what I'm going to do, that's pretty much tight enough. You can see where it's making the indentation. So, bear with me just a second here. Okay, now the back to two hands, recheck. That should do it. Okay, now to finish this up, all you do is just fold her right over. Let me give you a close view of this. And just fold it over, simple as that. Cut your wire up here where it gets wide. Whoops. Both sides. And we'll tie it off. We've got it. I'll do the other side on the video too. So give me a sec. Okay. There we go. Now then. All right, and of course there's the waste. But like I said, better be more than what you need, safe and sorry. And that's how it goes. Now it's possible if you need super small clamps made of this, which I have never tried, and it'd probably be a bit tough if it can be done, is excess could be used again. But I'm not going to do that. Okie doke. Get her set up ready for the next side, or other side. And let me get a pair of pliers. Okay. Trusty old channel locks, and they're Proto. Good tool. Okay. Now then. There we are. Cut this down a little smaller, shorter, should I say. And we got it. Bingo. And let me open these up a little more. And voila. We're good. One down, one to go. Back to some more wire. Oh, the kit comes with a lot of wire. I'm so happy I bought this. Don't have to use it often, but it's great. You got it when you need it. I've done other prior videos on the fuel line, on the inline fuel filter that I added to my 010 Aveo. This came in handy. Thought, well, heck, can't get a clamp like this. Oh, okay, I'll make my own. So that's most of what I've been doing now, is making my own clamps. No leaks. Now you gotta check this stuff ever so often, because vibration, age, so forth, everything tends to wear down, wear out, and come loose. So if there's a torque to it, do it. If this needs to be snug, do it. I check mine ever so often. Okie doke. Doing the same process. I was figuring this would have been a shorter video, but nope. That's okay. I enjoy making them. I enjoy helping my friends and people out there in YouTube land to help do what they need to do to their vehicles. Whether it's the same thing I've got, type of vehicle and year, or something else that I can help with or equivalent to. Happy to be of help and service. I may not have needed these clamps, but I'm not going to take the risk of being under the hood and just fit it on there, because this Tfitting is barbed. I'm just extra precaution here. That's all. That's all it amounts to. Okay. Figuring out if I'm going to do it left-handed or right-handed, as I call it. Yep, okay. Back the way it was. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Okie doke. Yeah, we got the wires crossed. Not that I like that. But the representatives of clamp tight suggested to keep the wires straight. You can double cross them, you can double loop these if you want. I just don't prefer to do it that way. And you can re-loop it on a second one if you're going to really need it. I don't. So let's get this show on the road here. Now I need to separate them. On the other side of the loop, all town with this. Just what we want. Multi-simplicity. We're good. Let's make it and tighten her up. And at times you have to experiment with this and find your breaking point. Okay. Now, I haven't gone into a lot of research on what I'm getting ready to tell you. That I've been told, I haven't tried it, I haven't looked into it, like I said, you can use MIG wire for this. The MIG wire I use breaks too easy. So I've got to do more research to find out the wire to get used. Whoop, that happens. Drop it. Get a magnet, pick it up, or just bend over and get it. Now this much wire, I will give it a try later, see how this works on a small clamp. Taking a wild guess at about the size of them loops right there. So I'll do a video later on that it warms up. I don't forget to do it and see how this works. Experiment, trial and error. So put that with the kit for now. And get this bent over. Get these cut a little shorter. All right, put my cutters up. And there we have it. Auto simplicity, and as a lot of people call it, easy peasy. And there we are. Now, please do be careful because the ends of these wires, if you're not careful, it's like a hypodermic needle. Oh, yeah, or a porcupine. Smarts. Be careful. Always be careful, never too safe. Okay, everyone. That's all for this for now. I will be back here in a little bit to put this back on the car and get the flush started. So give me a few. Gonna put on a little bit, couple more layers of long sleeves on, and we're going outside to the car. So please, let me turn this up. Please bear with me, and I'll get back to you here very shortly and get this flush started. It'll be a part 2 of this video. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Welcome to and welcome back to my channel once again. Thanks to everyone. Be right back.